Good afternoon, YouTube. How are we today? Oh dear. Yeah, it's been a while, but here we are. Yeah, it's been a while, but here we are. How are you all? How's life treating you? Henry, you're awesome too, mate. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's maybe well, my camera's all right. It's not. You've not really come here to look at my ugly mug. Um, So yeah, it's been a while. We've not actually managed to get any videos out because of one thing and another. TST was postponed. I missed Vision, but and I'm not doing any mobile stuff at the moment. Obviously, we're on virtual lockdown in the UK. All the training courses have been cancelled. So yeah, it's not been a very good year for the Simply Diagnostics YouTube channel. But hey up, Steve from SY Diagnostics. Wesley, Henry, Javier, Embry, Ball Mechanic, Chris from Sensor Diagnostics, Simon, Sean's in here. Everybody's here. Yeah, so it's not been a very good year for Simply Diag, but it's been an awesome year for our community up until a few weeks ago. Yeah, wow. And what how the world changes in a few days' time. It's amazing. It really is what's gone on. So we're going to do literally the plan is now is we can do one or two things. We can have a chat about hey up, Mr. Perkins in the house. Yeah. I haven't got my green screen set up yet, Keith, so you'll have to make do with a TST t-shirt and a TAT t-shirt. Hey up, Adrian. Yeah, so the challenge just the plan is just have a chat about our community, as in our community, our professional community, how we're being affected by these things, and also to give you a little bit of an insight into the Simply Diag 101 ethos, the grassroots stuff, why we do what we do, and what what the ethos is behind it. So, first things first, how are you all? There's a bit of a delay on the chat. There's a lot of a delay on the chat. There we go. William's in here. Let's move my chair over a little bit. I'm trying to get rid of this glare off my glass. I'm going to have to get contacts because I'm getting a lot of glare. Steve says he's bored. Yeah. So a lot of in the UK anyway, a lot of the garages and workshops are closing down. There's uh, there's a lot of people that aren't able to work. But Tam's in here. Chris is in here from Diagnostic Connections. Tam, why have you not got? Right, let's just fix that for you now. Hang on, Tam. You should have a blue sword, mate, being a moderator. There you go, mate. You should have a. If you refresh your chat, Tam, you should have a blue sword now, mate. Um, yeah. So a lot of you are sat at home. So the idea is we're going to be doing live streams and videos and stuff like that. With both with me and our partners and stuff like that within the SDN community portal, the Simply Diag YT group and YouTube, just to keep you all refreshed and invigorated, something to do every day. So nothing really very serious, but once this pandemic's over, hopefully we can all hit the ground running and get back to doing what we do best, which is fixing cars well. So yeah, hopefully that's the plan. So here in the UK, a lot of our guys now are on forced leave. What do you call it when you're in reserve sort of thing? Hey up, Tommy's in here. Hey up, Tommy, how are you, mate? Um, Furloughed, that's it. Furloughed, that's the word. Hey up, Charlie. Yeah, we a lot of guys are on furlough and stuff like that. So we're trying to keep you all going and support you as much as we possibly can. Um, right at the very start of the video, obviously there's a lot of people in here from the YouTube community and that. I just want to point out now that our community portal is up and running. So www.simplydiag.net is up and running, and is it's available. If you've got a registered legitimate apprentice in your business, so that's IMI, ASA, City and Guilds, they can register for free on the portal using their ID number, and once we're they've proven that they are a legitimate apprentice, they will be given free access to the community portal. So we're trying to do as much as we possibly can for the next generation. So if we go, I'll just flick over onto the screen. You can see it. Hey up, Corey's in the house. William's here. Adam's here. John's in here. Wow, cool. Yeah. So if we flick over onto the portal, and if you type in simplydiag.net, this is what you'll get on your home screen. So you can hit the join now button. We've got links for our sponsors, links for our merch page, our community calendar, although that's gone slightly sideways, and then links to all our sponsors and partners that we've got at the moment. So let's say we want to join now. We hit the join now. We've got 3 membership levels. We've got the basic free for apprentices. So it says IMI there, but it's any apprentice. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you are a legitimate apprentice, you can have a free limited membership. You don't get access to the vehicle specific, but the apprentices have got their own section that the normal members can't see, that are supported extensively by specialists and moderators. Hey up, Carl. Then we've got the monthly, £15 a month, and then we've got the annual, which saves you a few quid. So basically, the apprentices hit the join now. It'll take you for registration. You use your IMI, your City and Guilds, or your ASA ID number as your username. You can change it later. Sean's in here, Soren's in here. Wow, everybody's in here. So that's what we can do. But once you've done that, what you can do is you can enter the portal. So after you've registered, you don't even need to be approved. You enter the portal. There's a public area for non-members awaiting approval. Okay, the general public can post in here. You can post a thread. So let's put one here. Test post. Okay, you'll see at the bottom you've got to put your name in. So we'll put Steve. Verify you're not a robot. Testing. Post the thread. Okay. That post, once the moderator's seen it, they will approve it, and then it'll be live for everybody to see. Okay. So it's as easy as that. So there is a free public side to it. If we log in, right, so I'll log in now. Yeah, you can see we've got quite a lot of stuff in there at the minute. We've got 729 threads, nearly 5,000 messages, 316 members. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. So yeah. That's us. That's the SimplyDiag. I hope Joey's in here. Yeah. Yeah. Sean, you're right there, mate. I told you it would, didn't I? Um, yeah, there's lots of support for independence. Lots and lots of stuff in there. We're growing the community very, very slowly. We're not pushing for members. TDM, hey up, mate. We're not pushing for members. We don't want a massive influx of members. We've got a very, very good bedrock of solid members, great moderators, great vehicle specific specialists, really, really good partners. We've dropped the term sponsors now. Every single person that's in there as a partner has got the community, the SDN community, and the good of the industry at their heart, and they've got a proven track record for supporting our members and our industry. We've got rid of all the resellers and all the tool sellers and all that. The only people that are on there are the really, really the top tier people who want to support us and our members. So yeah, so we'd love to see you along there. Right, so our ethos, the when I actually started the closed group, it was because people wanted somewhere to go that wasn't visible to the public. How much more is it? It's dirt cheap TDM. It's free if you're an apprentice. It's free if you just want to stay on the public side of it. So, for example, the SimplyDiag YT group now is free. It's open to the public. If you want to move away from Facebook, you can use the free and public side of it. If you want to gain access to everything that's inside and all the resources, it's £15 a month. Within that £15 a month, we pay the VAT, so that's inclusive of VAT. We pay the PayPal charges and all that. We pay our moderators. We do a lot for the community. There's not actually a lot of profit in it, so it's £15 a month inclusive. If you want to save even more money, you can get an annual subscription for £150 a year, and that gets you basically 12 months for the price of 10. So that saves you another 30 quid. Hey up, Anthony. So yeah. It works out 50p a day, something like that. And we've got access to some of the best people in the industry, some of the best partners. People in there that have put their name to what we're doing. Andy Savver, the garage inspector, James Dillon, technical topics, Dave Massey, Auto Inform, ADS, Diagnostic Connections, Tom Denton, Garage Vitals, HR Vitals. Who else? Well, so literally all. So Warwick Test Supplies, Auto Security Codes, Hevra, Garage Hive, All Data, who offer a discount for SDN members, Diagnostic Connections, Technical Topics, DPF Doctor, HR Vitals, Picoscope, Garage Vitals, Auto Inform, Garage Inspector, Diagnostic Box, Avon Tuning, Advanced Keys, Tom Denton Automotive Technology, our Virtual Academy, Hella Gutman. On top of that, we're also in the middle of bringing on Varta and other companies. So there's a lot of people in there that really, really want to to bring the community on. And like I say, if you've got apprentices, they can come on. They can have it all for free. They can have access to all our learning resources. The only thing they don't get is they don't get the vehicle specific car park. They don't get access to the silver bullets and things like that, because obviously we don't want to give somebody a free membership and then as an apprentice they just get pressured by their employer to go in there and data harvest and stuff like that. So yeah, that's our community. Our community ethos is stronger together. So yeah, we do everything by the community for the community. So yeah, we're also Chris who's in chat, Chris Croft, Science of Diagnostics. We're talking with Chris now. We're trying to organise another live stream for Sunday, talking about mental health in the industry, and hopefully we'll get Dave Massey to join in on that. He's a very strong proponent of mental health in our industry and doing what he possibly can. So yeah, that'll be another live stream. And then I did nearly a 2-hour live stream yesterday for SDN members on all data, how to navigate all data, and a few tips and tricks. Tomorrow we've got another live stream using the Hella information system. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Corey, we should do a Zoom. Yeah, we definitely should. Oh, there you go, Chris. And talk to Dave early next week. Awesome, brilliant. Yeah, it is a rough time for mental health. We're not the most stable of professions as it is. But, Keith, I'd love to, mate. I'd love to get back on a TBT stream. Yeah, we did have one scheduled, didn't we? And then it cancelled. So, and I missed you all at Vision, and then TSC was cancelled. So, yeah, it's yeah. I've been away far too long. Oh, mate, Ford, don't worry about that, mate. It's not. It's nothing to do with anything other than too much smoking. Carl's in here. Carl, what have you missed? You've missed out, mate. Just me drinking coffee and waffling on and coughing. Oh dear. Uh, yeah. So, without further ado, that's enough about the network. We'd love to see you there if you want to come and join us. Like I say, this live stream isn't monetized whatsoever. It's not monetized. The PayPal link that you can see at the bottom of the screen, that is purely for any donations to paypal.me/SimplyDiagnostics will go to an SDN community member that's struggling with the pandemic, or if nobody takes advantage of that, we're going to donate it to a frontline carer, a frontline helper, a nurse, a care home assistant, or something like that, just to make their life a little bit better. So, Simon, the All Data stream is available exclusive to SDN community members, mate. It's an unlisted video. I couldn't put it as public because obviously I don't own the IP to All Data, so I can't put it out in the public domain. It was purely for SDN members because All Data are a partner with us. It's purely for them to be able to get the best use out of the UK version of All Data. Sean, it's in the social media section, mate. It's in the social media section. Right, so that's enough about that. And on to... Did you enjoy that, Craig? Awesome, brilliant, mate. Right, so enough about that. And then we go on to the SimplyDiag 101. So this is... Hang on, what's going on here? I've lost me chat. Where's me chat gone? That's it, I can see it now. Right. So, I'm getting bombed by everything. Where do we start? You'll notice the very, very first thing I see there is refer to an independent specialist. Right? How many of us in the past, have we looked at it, we've give something. What's that, WM? I'm a community nurse in Washington. Frontline workers love you. Thank you very much. Mm. Yeah, Simon, there is, mate. There's a link in the social media section. So going on to the 101, the whole ethos, why we do what we do. If we all think back to the past where we started, before we really knew what diagnostics was. Actually, I can get rid of that as well. Let's just get rid of that there. We can turn my camera off because we don't need the camera off. Yeah, if we look at where we first started, we would often just plug it in, get some scan tools, and say, oh, I don't know, let's refer it to the dealer. Yeah, those days really are finished. We've got enough independent specialists within our communities that we don't really need to refer anything to the dealers anymore like we used to. Like, oh, it's more than the code read, send it off to a dealer. We can keep that now within our community. Yeah. So where do we start? Where do we start with the whole 101 process? The first thing we do is we question our customer. You don't get to see my pretty face. No, and it means now I can pick my nose and drink my coffee without fear of being spotted. Yeah, the first thing we should do, we should be questioning the customer. Okay, it is probably the most valuable 5 or 10 minutes throughout the whole diagnostic process. Where does it happen? When does it happen? Does it only happen sometimes? Does it happen all the time? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it wet? You know, those of us that have been doing it for years now, you know, we're into a pretty good routine. But for the people that are just starting on this journey, where do we start? Questioning the customer and actually listening to what they say. The next thing we do is we verify the concern. It's absolutely pointless spending an hour looking for a boost fault on a vehicle on a ramp. Yeah, if it's not doing it, if the code's cleared and that's it, and it's, oh, you know, how many times have you sent a car out, fault not found, fault not found. We must verify the customer concern. Yeah, we must be able to see the fault that they've brought the vehicle in for. If we can't, then we're wasting our time, because we can only test when the fault is present. We can then identify possible targets. Yeah, if it's a running issue and it's logging a lean code, possible targets. What, you know, if we've got a lean code, so a P0171 or whatever, what are our possible targets for that? For a lean code, the answer to that is too much air or not enough fuel. Yeah, or maybe even a blocked exhaust. But too much air, not enough fuel. Yeah, there are possible targets. We narrow it down straight away. Yeah, we stay away from the rabbit holes. House call. We stay away from the rabbit holes. Yeah. Once we've seen our possible targets, so let's say, for example, we've got a car with a Volkswagen Group car where it's reporting a bulb failure. Permanent bulb failure warning on the dash. Yeah. So we've questioned the customer and they say, yeah, I've had all my bulbs checked, all my bulbs are fine. It came on after I had a flat battery. So we verify the concern. We open the car door. We can see that we've got a bulb failure warning light on. We physically check all the lights. All the lights are working fine. So we identify possible targets. By that, what we could do there is we have a quick look for a technical bulletin to see if there are any technical bulletins. We find a technical bulletin for that possible target that says there is a software issue with the body control module on certain vehicles within a certain range. Yeah, it requires a software update. Yeah, So then what do we say to our customer? Right, okay, you're going to have to take it to the dealer for your software update. Yeah. Or do we know somebody within our community? And I don't just mean within the SimplyDiag community, I mean within your community, the people that you know that has the capability to do a software update. Yeah, that's got the genuine equipment, a licensed tool and all that. If we do, we take the vehicle to the independent specialist and we do, we keep the job that way. We keep our customer. We're not, because once we send that customer to the dealer, we've lost that customer forever. And then we think, right, what are our general tests? So let's say for example another one. Car, the car won't start. Yeah, so it will crank, but so the engine will crank, it will turn over, but it's not starting. So our general tests are: does it sound okay? Yeah, does it sound okay? Does it sound like it's normal? Yeah, or is it turning over fast, or is it turning over slow? Yeah, our general tests are: let's do a relative compression test. Let's put an amp clamp and so one channel on an amp clamp, one channel on the battery. Let's do a relative compression test and let's see, is our cranking current roughly about 3 to 3.5 times the battery rating. If it is, the compressions are okay-ish. We can move on. Does our battery level stay above 10 volts in the middle of the cranking cycle? If it does, yes, we can move on. These are our general tests that we look at before we even start checking for fuel, checking for, spark and all that. Our general tests. And then we go down to our pinpoint tests. Yeah, that's when we go down. Once we've done our general test, that will give us a direction of where we need to go for our pinpoint test. Our pinpoint tests are the ones that will take us down the rabbit hole if we're not careful. So what we need to think about there is, for our pinpoint tests, we need to think about three things. What are we testing? Why are we testing it? And what are we expecting to see? If we don't know the answer to all three of those questions, stop, reevaluate what you're doing. You'll be testing the wrong thing, because if you don't know what's good, the result is absolutely meaningless. Okay, what am I testing? Why am I testing it? What am I expecting to see? And if we can answer yes to all those three questions, we know the answer to all those three questions, then we have to ask ourselves a further question: will the result of this test give me a pass or fail answer? Will it give me a pass or fail result? If it cannot give me a pass or fail and give me clear direction, depending on the pass or the fail, it's the wrong test at the wrong time. And then once we've done it all, we'll repair our fault, yeah, whatever it is, and verify the fix. Yeah, very, very important that to verify it. Yeah, how many times, if we all think back, how many times have we, yeah, fix that, that's gone, that's done, that, yeah, we sorted that boost out, we found that boost leak, and yeah, you're right, no good data or knowledge, that's it. Known good is real, that's the key. How many times can you think, yes, I've replaced that split boost hose, let's say, fix that, put it out in the car park, customer picks the keys up, takes it away, 10 minutes later they're back in the car park and you go, oh no, because you didn't test drive the vehicle afterwards. Yes, we must, at the end of every repair, verify the fix. Yeah, verify is, it can be tough, but you've got to do it. If you want to do a first time fix, you've got to do it. And this verify, if you look, verify the fix, verify the concern. Yeah, we are addressing the customer concern. There might be 40 different faults on the vehicle, but the customer, if the customer's brought it in for an airbag light and not the engine light, we don't fix the engine light, we fix whatever's bringing the airbag light on. Yeah? We must verify the fix of the customer concern. There we go. There's our questioning the customer thing. What questions do we ask? What is your concern? When does it happen? Intermittent, climate, driving style. This is a really, really big one here, driving style. Yeah. Yeah. What's their average mileage? What's the fuel type of the vehicle? What's the fuel quality? So is it filled up with top tier fuel? Yeah. Does they get through a tank a week, or is it supermarket fuel and one tank lasts them a month? Do they fill it up to the top, or do they only put £5 or £10 within? Yeah, these are all questions, and these are key to getting a correct diagnosis. Yeah, when we're verifying the concern. Yeah, so what are we charging for when we're charging for diagnostics? Yeah, what are we actually charging for? We are charging not to do a diagnostic, not to do a plug-in, not to pull codes. Yeah, we are charging as a professional to do a logical, evidence-based diagnostic on their issue. Okay, so we're using logical tests, testing at the right time. What am I testing? Why am I testing it? What am I expecting to see? Will it give me a pass-fail? We are using correct equipment and correct information. Yeah, we're using our experience and training. Yeah, so we're not charging for a diagnostic, we're not charging for a plug-in, we are charging for our time as a professional to perform logical evidence-based testing. Yeah, that's all we're charging for. Chris, you permanent DTCs and mode 10. We don't get all that over here, mate. Can we replicate the problem? If we can't, if we can't replicate it, we can't test for it. We can only test within the conditions that the fault is present in. Right? And if it's an intermittent fault, if it only happens every third week in the month, after it's snowed the previous 2 years, don't do it. Don't waste your time on intermittents. You're not going to be happy. You're going to waste your time. Your fix rate's going to go down. Your efficiencies are going to go down. Your customer's not going to be happy, because when they're in the pub the next night, say, "Oh, have you had your car fixed?" "Yeah, I took it. They couldn't fix it." That's going to be the end of the end of that. "Yeah, I took it to Joe down the garage. He couldn't fix it. Couldn't find out what was wrong with it." Yeah. So if it's an intermittent, don't even think of tackling it. We have to be able to replicate the problem to diagnose it. Yeah, TDM, you're right there, mate. There was no such thing as an engine light on a 2A, was there? Right. Another one. Do we need to road test a vehicle? The answer to that is yes. If it is any sort of a drivability problem, a noise, vibration, harshness problem, we should road test. Yeah. And the other thing we can do is, if it's, well, a really great analogy, okay? I was working at a garage. We had 3 technicians come in and look at Mrs. Jones's car. Every time she pulled up to a junction or pulled away from the junction, her car cut out. Yeah. Every time her car cut out at the junction, pulling off and pulling up. Right? Every single time. 3 technicians had a look at it. Fault not found. Fault not found. It went out. The boss came to me and said, "Steve, can you have a look at this?" I said, "Well, there's not really any point. These 3 lads have looked at it. They're all as good as me. Let's get the owner, the driver, to take it out." So I plugged the scan tool in. I sat in the passenger seat and I said, "Right, go on, you drive." She put the key in. We didn't even get to the gate. She braked to stop at the workshop gate, and the car cut out. She started the vehicle again, pulled off. Next junction, the car cut out. The third time she did it, I'm watching what she's doing. She's a tiny, small little lady, and she had one of the Peugeot flip keys. And when she put her key in, the ignition, the key was worn, and it was actually flipping down through 90 degrees. And every time she braked, she physically turned the key off with her knee, and she didn't know it. Now, we would have never, ever, ever found that fault. We would have never found that fault if we hadn't had the driver actually drive it. Tam, what's that? On road testing, do you put your licence at risk if the fault only replicates at higher speeds? Never, mate. Never. I need my licence to earn my money. No. If the fault only appears at 85 mile an hour, it's in the wrong garage. There's nothing I can do for them. Hey up, Kev, how are you, mate? No, no. If it's only a high speed fault, if it's above 70 mile an hour, mate, I'm the wrong guy to be asking. Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. And then we all know the one, you know, the PO100s and that, yeah, mass airflow, incorrect, DTC based diagnosis. Yeah. Well, it said MAF, so we fitted a MAF. You know, how many times have we found a broken wire, a blown fuse, a blocked air filter, and all that? It says MAF, so it must need a MAF. Yeah, those are, you know, those days are gone. Yeah, there you go. There's another one, TDM. Yeah. So our general tests. Moving on. Is everybody following so far? Let's just go back to here. Is everybody following so far? You all get the idea of what we're doing? You all get the idea of what we're doing? Looking at the names in here, I'm actually preaching for the converted. But you know, it's a public video, this, so there'll be a lot of people get a lot from this without actually devaluing what we do. So, right, okay, we'll continue. Kev says yes. Waleed says yes. Right, we'll go back to the thing. Alright, so general test. First thing we do, you know, we'll start with a global vehicle scan. We've got a serial data tool that's perfectly capable of interrogating the whole car. Why would we only look at one system? You know, when there's information that can be in DTCs and live data in other systems that can give us valuable evidence. So you'll never ever see me go in and just do one system. I will always do a full global scan. You know, I'm looking for telltales. Is there a common theme? Are there CAN fault codes in network fault codes in every module? Are there battery voltage fault codes in multiple modules? Is there, for example, ABS is reporting lack of vehicle speed, airbag is reporting lack of vehicle speed? You know, so I've got two modules there that are saying they don't know how fast the vehicle's going. Where's it going to get that information from? Is it getting it from an ABS sensor? Is it calculated? You know, these things, the common themes. The other thing we can do is we can look at baseline data. You know, before we even start the vehicle. So key on, engine off. Let's go into a module. David there, hello from Alberta. Hey up, David. Hey up, Darren. Yeah. So our baseline data, let's go into a couple of modules. Just key on and we'll see. What does the battery voltage say in live data? You know, what does the coolant temperature say? What does the air pressure say? Does the manifold pressure, is that the same as atmospheric pressure? Yeah, so we're looking at our baseline data, key on, engine off. Yeah, that one there. We're looking at our baseline data. Does everything look reasonably okay and the same? Key on, engine running. What's our manifold vacuum? Is it about 330 inches, you know, is it, you know, does it look okay? Does it, if it's idling at about 800 RPM, does it say 800 RPM in live data? Yeah. What do our fuel trims look like? What do our temperatures look like in a warm engine? And then the last but not least, if it's a load issue or something like that, consider taking it for a test drive and doing a wide open throttle test. Yeah. It's better than the radio, Simon, even with my dulcet tones. Yeah. And all we're looking for, this here line 4, we're looking for an orange in a box of apples. We're looking for something that stands out as not normal. Yeah. Again, we said before, you know, if it's a crank no start or if it's a misfire code, let's do a relative compression. So that's starter current, battery voltage, and if possible, a cylinder ID sync on a third channel. Yeah. One of the biggest things we see now with modern cars is the battery, the start and charge system. Yeah. The battery is probably the most critical component on a modern vehicle. And how many times do we go to a vehicle and we see a 5-year-old car with a 5-year-old battery in it? Yeah. It works normally okay, but then all of a sudden we start getting current limitation, we start getting systems being turned off, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the battery's really, really, really critical. Yeah. So anything at all to do with communications or loss of function, we need to be looking at the start and charge system. Yeah. And then again, somebody else mentioned before, freeze frame data. Yeah. Has somebody else been in there? You know, how many times has anybody else looked at this? No. They say no. So we can go into EOBD and we can have a look at the monitors. If none of the monitors are run, we can guarantee that somebody's been in there and cleared the codes. The other thing is freeze frame data. That gives us very, very valuable information as to what conditions the DTC is set on. What's my method when I get a car with a flat battery to test? I charge the battery. Charge the battery, then test the battery. And you know, if the battery charges up okay, then I'm looking for a current draw. But you know, or if it's easy enough to replace, yeah, I'll just replace it with a donor battery. Yeah, but you can't test anything at all with a flat battery when it's got a flat battery. You know, you need that battery fully charged. So will it take a full charge? And if while you're waiting for that battery to charge, there's nothing to stop you putting a donor battery on and checking for battery drains and things like that. Now we're getting on to our pinpoint test. I'm not going to go much further than this, yeah. But all I'm going to say is, whenever we're looking, volt drop is one of the best tests anybody can get their hands, their head round. And it's amazing how many technicians don't understand volt drop. This is worth a video all on its own. Yeah. All I'm going to say on this, if you're performing a voltage drop test, the circuit must be loaded. Yeah. And anything other than 0 is bad. Anything other than 0. So if we look at here, from our battery positive to before the consumer, with the consumer turned on, if I put 1 lead of my multimeter here and 1 lead of my multimeter here, if I've got no corrosion or bad connections in that length of wire, my meter must read 0. If it doesn't read 0, we've got a problem. Yeah. With my power turned on, my consumer loaded, if I put 1 lead of my meter here and 1 lead of my meter here, if it's not 0, I've got a problem between there and there. If I put 1 lead of my meter here and 1 lead of my meter actually here, if it's not 0, I've got a problem. Yeah. So all we're looking for, the circuit must be loaded, yeah, and your meter must read 0. Yeah, house call, you're right. Voltage drop, mate. You wouldn't believe how many people think it's really, really, really complicated, and it's not. It doesn't matter which. It doesn't matter whether you put a black lead there or a red lead there, a black lead there or a red lead there. Put it on DC volts. Go from one end of the wire to the other end of the wire. If it doesn't read zero, you've got a problem between those two pieces. Yeah. One end of the wire to the other end of the wire. If it doesn't read zero, I've got a problem. Yeah. We can see here on this drawing here, on this picture here, the bulb is lit very, very dim. I've got 6 volts on the screen. Yeah, I'm actually testing volt drop across the ground there. Yeah, I've got a 6-volt drop. That doesn't mean there's only 6 volts getting. This is on the ground side, so I've got 12 volts coming in and 6 volts coming out. Yeah, so half of the capability of that ground is gone through corrosion or a bad connection. Yeah, 0 is a good number. One end of the wire to the other, it must read 0 with the circuit on and loaded. It's as simple as that. Right, so here we go. Is it fixed? What is a fix? Yeah, a fix, categorically, if you remember right at the beginning, we said verify your customer concern. Yeah, a fix is we addressed our customer's concern. That's it. Yeah, we addressed our customer's concern. That is a fix. Yeah. And what do we do when so for example, it said a MAF, so we fitted a MAF and that didn't fix it, so we've got another MAF and that didn't fix it, so we got a MAF from a different manufacturer and that didn't fix it. What do we do? Yeah, coming from my very good friend James Dillon from Technical Topics. If anybody of you don't know, search Technical Topics on Google, on the interweb, whatever. One of the best trainers in the country, if not the world. Yeah. What do we do when the part doesn't fix it? What we should be doing, we should be doing the test we would do if the part doesn't fix it before we condemn the part, before we fit the part. Yeah. So if I'm going to fit a MAF and the MAF is $300, right? I need to be $300 sure that MAF will fix it. So what am I going to do? The test. So if it's a MAF, I'm going to test for an air leak. Yeah, I'm going to smoke test it. Yeah, I'm going to check my fuel pressure. I'm going to check for a blocked exhaust. I'm going to do those tests before I fit that $300 mass airflow meter. Yeah. We should always do the test we'll do if the part doesn't fix it before we fit the part. Yeah. And another really important thing here, yeah, when we get it wrong, and we will get it wrong, and we do get it wrong, me included, yeah, learn from the mistakes you make, learn from that struggle. The ones that have gone pear-shaped, they are the best teachers. They're the ones, the nightmare jobs are the ones we learn the most from. So if you're on a job for 5 hours and it should have only taken you an hour to diagnose it, consider the other 4 good training, 4 hours of training. Yeah, don't kick yourself and say, oh, I've wasted 4 hours on that. Think of it as 4 hours reinforcing the hour that it should have taken you. Thanks for watching. You're awesome. Link to our community down there. Yeah. So that's literally the 101, the troubleshooting 101 slideshow that I've shown you there. That is a massively cut down presentation from a full day's 101 training that we run up at Ashington. You know, I really have. That's just a very brief outline of what we do. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gave you an insight into the way I approach my diagnostic process. Did you all enjoy that? A 97 Sebring. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. So, is there anything else you want to chat about while we're here? While I'm sat here. I really need to do something about this chat delay. Kev, you stay safe, mate. All I would say is obviously this is on YouTube, but the links for the Facebook group and the community portal are in the video description. If any of you are suffering through the pandemic, through mental health or whatever, and you think there's anything at all that our community can do for you, please do not hesitate to get in touch. We really are here to help. If there's anything at all that SimplyDiag, the SDN network, can do for you to help, and please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Again, if you've got apprentices, please get them to join our community. We really want to help the next generation, want to inspire them, and we want to put a big arm around everybody and say, come on, you can do it. If you'd like to join our community, like I say, it's £15 all inclusive per month. Spend the 15, come in, have a look for a month, see what you think of it. If you don't like it, you can leave again. There's no issue. And then no, we don't make. It's an extremely positive community. There are no trolls, no keyboard warriors, no soapbox heroes, no egos, no nothing. It's just an awesome community full of really good people. Come in, try it for a month. If you like it, you can always upgrade to an annual subscription and save yourself a few quid. But if it's not for you, I hope dogs are going batshit crazy. If it's not for you, that's fine. We'll shake your hand and say goodbye. If you want to stay on the YT group, that's fine. Good technical teachers in Scotland for up north. We're gonna be doing some Scottish training. Tam and Tommy, so TF Automotive, were in there, and Tam, one of the moderators. They'll probably be able to point you in the direction. But literally put they're great dogs actually. They're just crazy. They're Patterdale Terriers. Drop a post in the SimplyDiag YT group or on the public section of the community portal, and we'll see if we can't put you in touch with something. Hey up, mate, how are you? Late again. Oh dear. Yeah. So right, that's it. I've got things to do, people to see, places to go. I really hope you enjoy. Oh, I forgot. Joey's in here. I really hope you enjoyed the brief insight into the 101 stuff and what our community is all about. Please, by all means, if you want to come and join us, come and join us. Like I say, the PayPal thing there, anything at all, if you found it of value, and you want to drop a couple of dollars or whatever into the PayPal, that is not going to me. This video will not be monetized. Anything at all that's donated will go to either somebody in our community that's really suffering because of the pandemic, or if nobody takes us up on that, nobody needs it, then what we'll do is we'll donate it to a frontline worker, a care worker, a nurse, a doctor, a paramedic, or something like that. So I hope you'll support it if you can. I'd love to see you in our community. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome.